Hello guys, my name is TheRussianBadger, and I feel so weird right now because I haven't even shaved yet, and there was this milk this morning, and I'm hiding in the shower for the first 30 seconds of the game. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just trying to sort of wash the bacteria off of myself that I got upon spawning into the game. Okay, so there was this milk in my fridge, and I just said, okay, so if this expired a week ago, I just said, I'm a man, I don't obey expiration dates, and I drank it. I was like, that's some good milk. And then about 20 minutes later, I feel like I'm about to die. So if I feel like I'm about to die, or I sound like I'm about to die throughout the duration of this video, you'll know why, and you can blame the milk. And yes, in this case, for the first time in a very long time, milk was a bad choice. And beyond that, I wanted to say that we're obviously playing on Zeba Tower, the map where, let's go hide on the balcony, there's probably cool stuff up there, right? And I don't know why I didn't kill him the first time. Like, how does that work? He totally flinched, and I don't get this guy either. I try to get him with the Rex, doesn't work. I totally thought he was dead on like that second shot. If you go back and watch that, he flinched so hardcore. I thought the entire left half of his body, or at least on my screen, well, actually it was my left, his right. Okay, the entire right side of his body. It looked like it would have just been blown off. Like, he flinched so hard. I thought he was dead. I was ready to move on to the next guy. And don't sprint indoors. That doesn't actually... I can't really give out that advice. Because you guys know that throughout the duration of... When I make a video, I use really hypocritical advice. I say, don't sprint indoors. Don't sprint all the time. What am I doing right now? Like, I'm clearly sprinting. I'm not taking my own advice. I sound very hypocritical. And it's not... Why are you standing on the stairs, man? I just want to get by. Count Chocula and I just want to run around and get by. And that guy was stuck inside the wall. The shower, yet again. It's a safe haven. You're almost blocked on all three. Well, you're blocked on 3 of your 4 sides. Obviously, there's no cube in Battlefield where you can just hide. Captain Timo, Captain Tear Gas, that guy... So much camp sauce. I can't even begin to communicate how much camp sauce he was sipping on this entire game, sitting on the balcony, and I actually literally think that's what lost him the game. And I get one gentleman there. And this place, okay, everybody, the RPG's not going to save you, Carl, Mr. PewDiePie. That's not the way it works. Okay. That balcony is where so many guys just lurk. It's Lurkfest 2012. I thought I killed them on the first shot. Like, I don't know what the deal is when they're running and they jump or they stop. Sometimes the buckshot doesn't come out exactly where you think it is, right in the center of your spread. Sometimes you just think to yourself, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. How did I not kill him? I had 3 shots to do it. I somehow missed all 3 and he's still alive. Sometimes you just don't, you can't explain it. It's just witchcraft. You just can't. I get one guy, I miss the second shot, I go back. Okay, I missed the second shot, get the third, and I get the 4th, and that's all that matters. I stayed alive, so it's not really a big deal at all. And yes, I'm using standard buckshot on the Spats 12. I know most of you guys go with... Most of you are familiar with me utilizing the slugs, but I don't always use the slugs, especially for close quarters. I would say flechette or buckshot, and that guy just fell over. I'm pretty sure that he just got shot by another one of my teammates. But at the time, I was like, what happened to you, bro? What, you just, like, trip and fall and die? Did you die from, like, tripping? The support players are very common. Like, I hear it's very common that they don't tie their shoes and they pay the price oftentimes. I mean, tripping and falling, that's got to be a pretty bad way to go. I get the first guy. I got this second guy with the Rex. And the Rex is... Okay, you guys are pretty familiar with that. The Rex is not the Johnny Cash. The Rex is the Arizona Ranger with the big iron on his hip. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that song, or those of you that have heard it from Fallout, but it is a handy-dandy song. I will actually link in the description if you want to listen to that song, because that's one of those songs where you can listen to the entire thing over and over and over again, because it's such a classic. So if you hear me say, the Arizona Ranger with the Wesley snipes on his hip, there we go. And it happens again. Like, all that I do over and over is I just shoot down this hallway, and I cut them off from getting out. I mean, obviously they're capping it, and I didn't think that I could just roll in guns blazing and kill everybody, but Wesley snipes, and I totally didn't think I was going to get that guy. I almost forgot that I got that guy. I almost said false alarm. I get one gentleman. I couldn't quite chunk the second guy, but sometimes that happens with buckshot. If you got 2 guys... I guess this is what DICE supposedly says, and the best spawn point ever, 1, 2 und 3, all 3 guys, and that's what you get, Captain Timo. I mean, I want to say Captain Falcon, Captain Insano, Captain Timo, Captain Teargas. That's not going to save you. Number 2, thank you, come again. I feel like I'm at a restaurant. Like I'm just serving behind this bar here. I don't know why I automatically adopted that accent, but that spawn point serves so much justice. And I get one gentleman, I get a second gentleman, and I get promoted at the same time. And look, I can even wash all of their filth and camp sauce off of me in this conveniently located shower. And okay, other people are going to tell you, oh man, you want to cap flags and conquest. No, you want to stay in the shower, make sure that you don't get too much bacteria on yourself, and make sure that you vaccinate as well so that you don't get infected with any kind of virus. That's exactly what you want to do. This game is not about capping flags. It's about avoiding having a mild fever, because I think we all know that fevers come along with sicknesses, and sicknesses are avoided when you have cleanliness, which is brought about by a shower. Washing your hands is also good, but I can't find the sinks in this map. I have a really hard time. And this bush monster, he thought he was safe. Okay, that guy goes down. I don't get him, but the bush monster. Mr. Cloth Monster. Look, he sticks out his hip, and I somehow... Okay, I get that gentleman over there, but this guy, I think he barely sticks out his hip, and then I somehow get a headshot. Like, look. Boom! Right in his head. Like, how... I guess that's just what the recoil does to you, and that's not going to save you. Just because you get my support teammate, you got the less important guy. Actually, not that I'm really not all that important. Like, I'm really not threatening in most situations, but I get one, I get a little rinse off in the shower, and then I get a second guy, and then there's a third guy that wants some, so jump around and bah! Oh man, don't run at me with a support kit unless you're using a shotgun, because it's automatically not an advantageous fight for you. Okay, look, I reload 2 more shells. I get 2 there. I reload 2 more shells. I miss my first one. I get the guy, but I'm out of bullets. Look at him. He just moved. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. Do you want to finish it with me? I thought this was like the agreement that you would finish it with me. But the kid is not my son. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were doing the beat for me, but that would have been a lot more convenient, you know. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Michael Jackson, and it's really awkward. You know that awkwardness when you know a song, but somebody else doesn't? Like, it's just like last video. This is a story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world, and though she looks so sad in photographs, I absolutely love her when she smiles. It's awkward because when people don't catch on, it feels weird. Like, I know something that you don't, and I was trying to make a joke, and it's just terrible. Sometimes it's just terrible like that. And yet again, not taking my own advice. I'm sprinting through doorways, and it's not a good idea, especially with a shotgun, because if you miss your first... Usually you can get 2 shots. I know a lot of people say, oh man, with a shotgun, as soon as you miss, you're dead. And that's something that I want to emphasize. Guys sitting in corners, it's the unpredictability of close quarters. You have to come to terms with... And look who's drinking the camp sauce now. All of my teammates, not Captain Timo on duty over there. Second kill right in your kneecaps, bro. But I wanted to say, don't get hung up about kill death and everything else in terms of close quarters. Because close quarters, it's very... Captain Teargas came up here again. Again, man. That means that the only thing that he's focused on in this game is getting up here to the balcony and drinking camp sauce, just sitting here. Because it's very, very easy to defend. There's only 2 places that you can get attacked from, one stairwell or the other, unless the only caveat to that is the exception of me spawning behind you, which happens quite a lot. But there's another situation where you have to accept and come to terms with the fact that close quarters is very unpredictable. You're going to die a lot. There's going to be a lot of instances where you really couldn't have played it any better and you will still die. People sitting in random corners, you can't really predict that. And I get this guy, and okay, I don't know how he was in a region that's other than the balcony, but Captain Timo over there, I don't know how he thinks that's a game-winning strategy. But that's a game-winning strategy right there. Dunk on everybody from the ceiling, from up above, and then go down and cap it. Kneecaps, bro! Okay, so at this point in time, I should also mention that this is a very, very close game. I think these teams are very evenly matched. Okay, I get one gentleman, and I have to say that it's a little bit more chaotic, just because, okay, if you think about it this way, DICE designed these maps for 24 players, and I'm playing at a 48-person server right now. I don't know what happened. Like, okay, it was something like he missed his shot, and then he tried a knife. I shot him simultaneously, and then he got a shot off as he was falling down. I don't know how exactly that worked, but I have to say, If you use one of those semi-autos as in not pump shotties, I feel like you're a little lowly peasant that doesn't know how to aim correct. All right, headshot, get this second guy, and Claymore. Claymore, how wonderful. That just makes my day. And, okay, this is another thing that I want to continue on. Don't get hung up about dying a lot or having a bad KD. I know a lot of you like hang yourselves up on KD. Close quarters is not about that at all. If you can get to the flags and you can cap flags quickly, you can definitely, obviously you can cap flags quickly, but if you can focus on ignoring your deaths, I know that doesn't make any sense. Okay, I want you to focus on something, but I want you to focus on ignoring something. I get one gentleman, and this is what I didn't get. Like, he's like in the fire and flames. What is this, like Dragon Force? I got the one guy, but the flames were just all up in my face. I couldn't see. I know you're going to say, yeah, shame for display, you rack discipline, Badger, and my dad could totally beat you at StarCraft 2 because you obviously don't have the ability to shoot through fire and flames. I just couldn't see him. Just like blinding light, I just couldn't get a good angle on the guy. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. And I thought about defending this. There's a lot of traffic that goes through this lower section. They're either going to come up that staircase behind me. I get another gentleman there. But oftentimes, it's just because, not because I have good aim at all, they're just blinded. Oh my god, that headshot, man. That made my day so much. Just because oftentimes, you know, you'll jump at some guy with a shotgun, you'll try to hit his head, and you'll hit marker or something. That guy just got blasted in the face. That's just, every single pellet that came out of my spread definitely went straight into his grill. I don't know if he's very influenced or very well versed in the African American community that wears grills, but maybe not. Maybe the support player listens to 50 Cent. Maybe not. Okay, I thought I killed him, but I guess not. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be the king of this bathroom in a few seconds. Got him! Got him! Okay, he thought he was king of the bathroom. This is what people don't realize about this bathroom. If you look in one of the corners, there's a sign that clearly says wet floor. Do not run. And he ran. I'm not saying that that should be the punishment for running on a wet floor. Like if you run on a wet floor, you're just gonna get shot with a spas. But and that guy, okay, despite the fact that he did kill me with that semi-auto, whatever, M1017, he's just so salty that I killed him 6 times before he even killed me twice. He's just a little salty about that. So don't really worry about him. And yet again, this is still a very, very close game, which is another reason that I thought you guys would enjoy it. We were behind the whole time as well. I don't know how. I keep thinking that the spread's going to come out a certain way, and I get revived right into the USAS 12. Of all the places that I thought that gentleman would be, I did not think that he would be prone with a USAS after I just did not think he would be there. It's just not an expected position, and yet again, that's just the unpredictability of close quarters. People are going to be sitting in corners, there's claymores everywhere, there's a lot of explosives, people are using semi-automatic shotguns. There's going to be times where you just can't win the engagement, or you can't make it out alive. There's just too many guys, you're in too vulnerable of a position, and I think if you're really playing a style where you're getting tons of kills and very, very few deaths, and you're not playing extremely well, like if you're just sitting on a balcony, that doesn't really help. And yet again, I thought I killed him on the first shot, but it just didn't happen with buckshot. It's very weird in the transition between slugs and, you know, flechette and buckshot, just because oftentimes in that situation, I would have just moved on. I just would have shot him and moved on. And yet again, I should have fired a second shot, but I just assumed that he was dead because, you know, buckshot oftentimes kills at close range. I get that guy right on the backside. And I also ended his 5 kill streak. I don't know if he's a little bit salty about that or not. And this A flag, it's difficult because you can get approached from about 4 different angles. You can get approached from the balcony. There's 2 staircases in the hallway, and they can shoot you from any direction. That's the difficult part about the A flag. And yet again, we're still down by 7 tickets, and I'm still, at the time, you guys know that, at least for me, I make a decision. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, okay, right there. I got Carl right in his backside with buckshot. And do you remember when they preached for... Boom! Right in your face, bro. Okay, so, do you remember for the longest time, Dice was preaching about how, oh, meow, 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 meow. Flechette is so much better than buckshot at penetrating stuff. Okay, as I penetrated that guy's skin. But do you remember how they said that? Like it can go through walls and everything else? And I just didn't get it. I didn't get how they were preaching that so much, and yet I just shot that guy through a wall. Perhaps some of it didn't go through the wall. Maybe the buckshot that killed him didn't work. Went through like a little gap or something. But I still have to say, a lot of close quarters can still be penetrated by buckshot. At least in my experience. It's not like flechette is necessarily a vital piece or like a vital attachment that you have to run, or a vital piece of, or the vital ammunition that you have to be running on all your shotguns. But oftentimes I notice that Flechette takes 2 shots. Even if you hit all your spread, it oftentimes takes 2 shots. But Wesley, I'm an idiot. I'm such a snipes. But look at Count Chocula. That's also me sitting in the corner dead. It's one thing about close quarters. You guys obviously saw, and I got revived, so I'm not really all that salty about it. But I have to say, there's a lot of places where I've got killed by... Give me your sandwich, dog! I don't approve of your conduct. What? That's close quarters right there. You can't predict it. It's complete BS. Like, there's nothing that I could have done. The guy was clearly invincible. He wasn't dying to... I'm impervious to your bullets. I'm like a Terminator from Skynet. Okay. It's just something that you can't predict. And oh, look, there's another unpredictable thing. As soon as I go to shoot Captain Teemo, his teammate spawns on him with spawn invincibility, and I die because I shoot him instead of Captain Teemo, and he's invincible. That's basically close quarters in a nutshell. It's unpredictable, it's crazy, it's chaotic, but we still won the game by about 20 tickets. We triple crapped them, mostly because, you can easily tell, all of their guys were lurking on the balcony and not getting on flags. I think that's the little bit that made us win the game instead of them. Despite the fact that I joined late, and I still did fairly well. But just keep in mind, it's unpredictable. You're going to die to claymores. You're going to die to guys sitting in corners. You're going to die to spawn invincibility situations like how the game just ended. You're going to die to guys that were in this state of invulnerability. I'm impervious to your bullets, and then I tried to knife him because sometimes that works on guys that are stuck in that limbo of invincibility, but I guess not. Like, getting knifed after that, that's totally Dice's fault. There's somebody's fault that is clearly not mine, because he's invulnerable and then just, give me your sandwich. And, like, 2 seconds later, how does that work? That makes zero sense to me. But I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and it seems like a lot of you really want to see what my face looks like in my 115th video. I guess I can do that, but I would need a lot of you to request it, because if I did it and a lot of you didn't want it, it would ruin it for everybody. Because I know right now you have a certain idea in your brain. You've probably formulated an opinion as to what my face roughly looks like. Oh, dark hair, tall, short, all that stuff. So once you see my face, none of that is true anymore. What you imagine of me is no longer how I look in your opinion. I'm actually the way I look. I don't know if that makes sense, because what you think I look like or what you want me to look like is probably different from what I actually look like, and I think that might upset some of you. So if you guys really want it, I will show it to you, but I would need a lot of you to demand it. So unless it's overwhelming, probably not, but maybe. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Auf Wiedersehen und bis bald. And child labor laws are ruining this country. I just watched an episode of Community, and then I watched an episode of Parks and Rec, and I had Ron Swanson on my mind. I don't know why. But I will see you guys next time. Auf Wiedersehen und bis bald und later.